from 2-7. The title for our Reader's Theatre is The True Story of the Three Little Pigs. I hope you will enjoy. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll tell you a little secret. Nobody knows the real story, because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me L.
No one knows just how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way they are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think people were big and bad too. But the whole big bad thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. Way back in once upon a time, our friend, the wolf, was making a birthday cake for his dear granny. He had a terrible sneezing cold and he had ran out of sugar. So he walked down the street to ask his neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? Who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So, of course, the minute the wolf knocked on the door, it fell right in, and he didn't want to just walk into someone else's house. So he called,
Little pig, are you in?
no answer. He was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for his dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when his nose started to itch. He felt a sneeze coming on. Well, he huffed and he snuffed and he sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? That whole straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig dead as a doornail. He had been whole the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So the wolf ate it up. He was feeling a little better, but he still didn't have his cup of sugar. So he went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house of sticks. The wolf rang the bell on the stick house and nobody answered. So he called,
Mr. Pig, are you in?
The second pig yelled back,
Go away, wolf! You can't come in. I'm shaving my hairs on my chin.
He had grabbed the doorknob when he felt another sneeze coming on. He huffed and he snuffed and he sneezed a great sneeze. You're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was a second little pig dead as a doornail. Now, you know food will spoil if you leave it out in the open. So, the wolf did the only thing there was to do.
sugar, and he wouldn't even give me 1 little cup for my dear old granny's birthday cake.
What a pig! The wolf was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when he felt his cold coming on. He huffed and he snuffed and he sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, "And your old granny can sit on a pin!" The wolf was usually a pretty kind fellow, but when he heard somebody talk about his dear old granny like that, he went a little crazy. He was trying to break down this pig's door when the cops drove up. And the whole time, the wolf was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs he had for dinner. They thought a sick wolf going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they just